Hello, my name is Julia Jamrozik.
I'm Coryn Kempster. We're Canadians with a background in art, architecture, and design.
And we are also the authors of Growing Up Modern, Childhoods in Iconic Homes, which was published in 2021 by Burghauser Verlag. We're super excited to be at the Weissenhof Werkstatt. We have an exhibition based on the book, on the material of the book, which we are presenting at the Weissenhof Werkstatt. And the exhibition is titled Kinder der Moderne, Growing Up Modern. And we'd like to show you inside.
So our project, Growing Up Modern, was about listening to children who grew up in some of the most iconic early modernist houses and apartments, and getting to learn from their experience. What was it like to grow up in an avant-garde setting? So we researched and we found 4 individuals who were the very first children to grow up in some of these iconic homes. We talked to Ralph Fassbender, who grew up here in the Weissenhof Werkstatt, in one of the row houses by Aud.
We spoke with Miss Helga Zumpfe, who grew up in the Schminke House in Lübbe, designed by Hans Schroe.
We talked to Ernst Tugendhat, who grew up in Brno, in the house by Mies.
And lastly, we spoke with Miss Giselle Moreau, who grew up and who still lives in the Unité d'Habitation in Marseille, designed by Le Corbusier. And as part of the project, after we had these conversations, we also went and visited the homes and the apartments of the people we spoke with, and we tried to match the stories that we heard and take photographs of the places themselves to create a connection between the place and the story. And that's the first part of our exhibition.
So as an example, Mr. Fassbender was able to point out the balcony that was off of his boyhood bedroom. And what was very special for him was that in the summertime, that enabled him to pull the head of his mattress out onto the balcony, and he could sleep with his head under the stars.
Mrs. Zumpfe spoke about the colored glass portholes that were placed in the doorways between the Schminke house and its garden. And each of these doorways had, at eye level for children, these colored glass viewports that the children could look through and see the world in different colors. So you can see a close-up of that here.
Mr. Tugendhat shared with us that he doesn't have especially fond memories of the house, but what he does have more of an attachment to is actually the furniture. So for example, the dining chairs designed by Mies van der Rohe and Lily Reich. This was something that even after the family was forced to flee Brno, some of the furniture from the house traveled with them, and so he has a fonder attachment to some of the furniture than to the house itself.
And Miss Giselle Moreau, who grew up in the Unité in Marseille, she spoke about the experiences of children who weren't allowed to play in the hallways, so in the interior streets, but the children were allowed to play in the stairwells. And so we took a photograph of the stairwell where the children had lots of freedom in the Unité. So in the second part of the exhibition, we focus on the Aud Rohe House here at the Weissenhof Werkstatt.
And here we were able to bring together many historic photographs, many of which are actually coming from Mr. Fassbender's personal photo album from his childhood that are appearing here in the exhibition, but also in this chapter of our book. And with these photographs, paired together with the photographs that we took ourselves, we're able to tell a lot of Rolf's stories. For example, the Mies van der Rohe apartment building, he shared with us that as a boy, him and his friends would sneak into the stairwells and set off firecrackers because they discovered that's where the echo was the loudest.
And in the exhibition, the way we've organized the information is we're able to match the location, which we indicate with the site plan here, which shows the row houses, but also their surroundings. and we're able to match the location and the story in the photograph. And we do that through these colored discs with the letters on them. And so one can associate the information across the different media.
And what's interesting for this exhibition taking place in the Weissenhof Siedlung is visitors could actually read the stories and then they can go outside and find these places for themselves.
Another instance, maybe, or an interesting story is of the south garden of number 3, which is how Mr. Fassbender affectionately called his row house. And his garden was special because it was the only one that had the tree. So you can see the historical photograph that shows him climbing the tree.
And the exhibition continues in this manner, moving inside the row house. So the remaining vitrines tell the stories from inside the house, and there we have it also matched with the plans that you can locate these memories in place.
We hope you get a chance to come to the Weissenhof Werkstatt yourself and see the exhibition for yourself. It's open until mid-December. Thank you very much.